Good morning, everyone. We've got James away again. He's in Melbourne, living the high life down there, and we've got Brad off the bench from Macbet. He does all the Gold Coast and the half sunshine coast, Ipswich mainly, and the Hong Kong. He does about half of the Hong Kong with me. So, hi Brad.
Howdy. Everyone.
He's been around a fair while, so we're just going to get into a few questions. First off, I put on the site, on the Macbet racing site, or on the Facebook page, our Macbet football prices. If you want to go in there and have a look, we've been doing a bit of statistical work on it and everything, and we're playing around it, and you can have a look on there and see our prices, sort of thing. You've had a quick look at them as well, haven't you? Who are you tipping in the premiership?
I don't think there's a lot between teams like the Storm and the Roosters, and even Canberra. I think are going well. They're playing as a good team at the moment. So I think a team like the Sharks has potentially got the team to compete with Storm and Roosters. But
why aren't they going any good at the moment? Like they dropped off. We were saying this a few weeks ago or something, that we're thinking that they were a chance, and next minute they lost a few games.
I think the big difference has been probably what I've seen is for Feeders, seems like he's hobbling around on one leg at the moment. So at his best, he can cause a bit of havoc, that guy. But the last few weeks, he looks like he's carrying that injury, and he makes a big difference to that pack. So I think if he's out, you'd probably say that they're a little bit behind the other three teams.
Yeah.
This weekend's rounds, probably a lot of these shorties are probably going to end up winning. Like they're short, but they look like the winners.
Yeah, I really want to. My go is probably back in the home teams when we've got a few for the team short enough in the market, and we've got them favourite, and they're a home team. And this week it seems like we can't get them short enough. The home teams, even though they're going to be very hard to beat. Sharks are hard to beat, Roosters hard to beat, Rabbitohs, Storm, Knights. We've got them all fairly short, haven't we?
Yeah.
So it's one of those weeks where we're not going to be playing too much, I don't think. But anyway, I thought we'd throw it out there and you can have a look at it. Gold Coast. What's this track? This track's been a bloody mess for a while.
Yeah, it's sort of. It's probably been the worst playing track I deal with mainly Ipswich, Caloundra, Gold Coast, and midweeks in town. So it's very, very hard to get a guide on bias and inside outside rail positions. If there's a bit of rain around, it's very difficult. So
when the rail's in, what goes on?
I think the rail in makes it. It seems to be more of an inclination to be off the rail the further it gets in. So especially when there's rain or irrigation that they put on the track. So if you look for irrigation or rain, that inside 2 or 3 metres seems to be the worst.
Jockeys, trainers?
I think probably like Brisbane. I think Edmund's probably the best trainer in Brisbane or in southeast Queensland, that's for sure. So he's got consistency there, and you can back him with a bit of confidence. Kelly down there is not too bad, and Costa at the moment seems like he's going well, but you just got to wait and watch for the money Costa horses. They seem to perform well when the money comes. Yeah,
it seems like they go in and out, a lot of these trainers. Like Costa, I thought was going terrible there a while ago, and then all of a sudden he's come good. Yep. Bloke like Liam Birchley, he was going terrible for a while, but now he's flying. Edmund's just as strong across the board all the time. He just seems like he's solid, but at the moment, the 2 trainers or 3 trainers that we want to follow is probably Edmonds, Birchley, Costa. They're probably the 3 that we're finding. What about jocks?
Probably down there, I'd say probably Dittman and Griffin ride the track best
for bias,
based on bias. Like they can be a bit in and out at times, but they seem to pick the bias and pick the right lanes most of the time. So that's the key, and the others tend to make wrong decisions down there.
Especially the kids. This is where they're starting off down there, and they don't ride the tracks properly. They're not, even though they're probably told, or they're looking. If the trainers sort of tell them, oh, we want to go back and or we want to go forward, well, then if the fence is no good and they're told to go forward, Well, the older jockeys sort of slam them onto the fence and keep them on the fence, don't they? So they dictate to these younger blokes. So, you know, it's a tough call for young apprentices on bias tracks.
Especially when they've got these inside gates sometimes, and then they just get hammered in there and they can't get out of the right part of the track, so they just stick to the fence, you know.
And if they do push out and go wide and they get beaten, the trainer say, "What were you doing there?" You know, so it's a, you know, whereas the older heads sort of can say, "Well, the fence has been no good all day. This is what's been happening," so they can stand on their own 2 feet and give it back to them. Whereas apprentices don't do that. So that's the problem with it. But anyway, we'll get on to these questions. First question's from Michael Walker. Morning, John. Loved our girl Silk run last start. What do you think of its chances today in the last? Yeah, hard to beat. You know, Mike, I think you said this the other day when we were looking at it. I think it went really good. He got lost in the run. He hit the line well at Doom, and now he's going to Eagle Farm. I think it's just perfect for him. I think it's very hard to beat, and I'll be throwing something on him, especially at around, I think it was $8 or $9 this morning. I think that's great odds. So I think you're on the money there. I think. Second question, Cody, from Cody. Morning, John. Like, please, number 2 as a solid place bet in the 5th at the Coast. Thoughts? Jeez, what do you think it is?
Yeah, this horse has had a few trials. It's a Stephen Lee horse, so it's got ability. It's a drift back horse. This race is quite a good race. You got three good chances there. The horses all go pretty well. Lulu Express, Snapchat Girl, and Alaskan Sun, the Smurden runner down there. So I would say that it needed to be right on top of its game to beat those other horses here today, being first up, even though it's had a few trials. So it can't. The $7.50 price, I think, is probably short enough to bet around it.
Those sort of horses, that type of race are very in and out type of horses, aren't they? But I suppose Snapchat Girl's has been fairly consistent of late, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been, and it wasn't suited last start, and the other horse, Alaskan Sun, came in the wrong part of the track. We were on it the other day, so he's going well, that horse. And Lulu Express, he wasn't suited again last start, and the previous was quite a nice win from Edmonds, from the Edmonds stable. So he can. There's a little bit left in him as well, I think, on some upside. So it's a bit tricky because I think there's 3 chances in that race, and they're all, they're all quite even. I think Snapchat Girl's probably the value.
I think you got pleased $15, so Cody sort of steering clear of that. You said place, I suppose. Is there 8 runners? Yeah, there is 8 runners. So, you pretty much.
It might be able to run on this horse, but I couldn't back it myself on the price.
All right, Carl Scriber, Ken Ditmas crossed and lead, pinch it from Macbet. Carl, 1200 Ditmas. It's a bleeder. He's going to have to push forward. The tenner led the other day. I think you were tipping the tenner the other day at Caloundra. Think of Schweeders?
Oh, yeah.
The thing from Sydney. Just punctured in the straight, didn't it?
It might have a bit of a problem as well, with a wind problem or something, so.
Yeah, so you've got 2 horses up on the speed that are going to be a little bit suspect as far as, wind and bloody injuries and all that sort of stuff. So I'm quite happy to bet against the Ditmas, even though it was 3 wide the other day and working and forward on. But I think that it could puncture here today, especially the big track, Eagle Farm. Brody King, Gold Coast, race 6, Happy Bubbles. If he brings his debut form, he should be much shorter. Race 6.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about this horse. He put that nice run in the previous prep that you're probably looking at, mate, and he went well that day. So he's definitely the query horse for mine in this race. He's just you got to watch that market pretty closely with that horse. He's got ability.
He's got it.
Just couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I'm not. It's a Sydney horse. This horse, so as I say, it's got ability. I'm sort of leaning towards the maiden winner down there in that race, Blue Odyssey. Even though he's a maiden up in classy, I thought he went good, that horse. So I'm not discounting yours. I think it's a winnable chance, but you want to watch the market closely then.
Okay, James Pattinson. Hey guys, race 1, number 6. Race 1, number 6, Dawson Delight. Well, James, I haven't done this race. Mitch's done this one, and I can tell you that he's got it $31. Strong to the line debut. So I'm not sure about this one. I know that the favourite is Star of Michelin. It's been a bit of a pain horse because we let go at something the other day that ran second or third to it. Probably should have won. The thing of Nolan's horse, it went really good. Now, this horse has improved all the time, the top one, but is it a $2, $1.90 shot? I don't know. Like Mitch has got it, shorter than that at the moment. So I'd say the field is really weak, but I've just got in my head that Star of Michelin, he is on the up, but it's short enough. So as far as what Mitch is saying with that Dawson Delight, he's saying no because of the price. Because of the price. He said it's been well backed in early markets though. So I can't help you too much there, James. In the Dylan Elworthy said Macwin race 3. This looks too easy for this horse. Better the day for me. Thoughts? I think a few people have actually mentioned this horse as we go through. My opinion of this horse was I thought it went pretty good the other day. It was on a very leaderish bias track and he tried hard in the straight. Now, I think this is a harder race though, and there's a few ifs and buts about the horse. I think he's short enough at $2.30. I can't rush in at that price. I've got him on top, but price-wise, I'll be letting him go. That's how I'm playing it. Brody Jack Wayman, race 4, number 9, Hole the Line. Looks very hard to beat today. Gets in with 2 kilos weight relief with the class rise and is looking to make her way through the grades. And the same jockey sticks on. What's your thoughts? This trainer has all of a sudden turned the corner, just like a few of the ones we were talking about before with Costa and Birchley and them. I think he's Van Dyke. He's improved, not improved, but his horses have come good. So it was a nice win the other day at Eagle Farm. He come down the right part of the track. He did die on his run last probably 50, and they were starting to come back at him, but he's second up here. He improved, as you say. He drops a little bit of weight. I think he's got a good chance. Got the right gate. Just the market is pretty much spot on. I've got it $3.60 and it's $3.60, so there's no value there for me. As far as a race goes, it makes sense to stay out of that one because there's a few first up horses, a few second up horses, so you really got to watch the markets to see where they're situated in their prep. But at the moment with the horses that I know, that have been racing, he's spot on market. What do you think of Van Dyke? What's your opinion of him?
Yeah, I was very keen to sort of bet around him early on, a few months back, as you say. So I don't know whether it's just because he's got a few nice horses returning now. Whether that's the case or whether he's picked up his game from a training point of view. I don't know. Most of his horses are seem like they're under market, aren't they?
If there's no money for them, they can't. They don't win. They just don't win. If there's money for them, you still can bet against them because they're short enough. They come in, but they're going to be hard to beat.
He's a bit like Costa there, isn't he? He's sort of a money trainer. There's obviously some betting people around those two stables, so you need to watch the market closely.
We're not saying that you got to dive into them when you actually when the money comes for them, but if you like them and the money comes for them, that's when to bet because everything's right. So. Darren Winningham, race 8, number 8, barrier 8. How can we lose? Thoughts? Race 8, number 8. Where the hell is this? Orbach. Yeah, bloody hell. I think we mentioned this last week. I thought it was going to get the perfect run and be in the right spot, but I thought the stablemate might be able to beat him. The track turned out to be really leaderish. And it was able to get the right run. Everything fell into its, everything felt perfect for it the other day, but it was strong. He's found a race where I think, again, he's on the up. He's a fit horse on the up, and a lot of these other horses are just coming back from spells, or they're nothing out of the box. They're older horses. So, he's going to be hard to beat. 240, 230 at taking rock bottom from the gate, whether he can get a soft enough run. There's a couple of horses there that have got speed. Monsieur Gustav and Courts King will be kicking up. So whether Allback can slot in somewhere, I'm just not sure. So I won't be back in at 230, 240, but I can see, I don't like the second favourite, but I just thought there was a couple of other horses in the market, or not in the market, that are a good prices, but they're first up, and I just don't know where they sit because they haven't trialled. Okay, going to go Guy Preston. Hey lads, race 6, number 8, horse 8. What's your thoughts? Race 6, number 8. Boncho. It's a wet tracker, isn't it?
Is the Seas runner, is it? Or?
Yeah. He's a grey. I thought he just
9 gate. How does he map today from that 9 gate?
Race 6. I think he maps terrible. He's out here.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a problem for it.
Yeah. I think he got beaten by Misery. I think it was. Was it Misery or something else got up on the outside of him the other day? I think it was. No, it wasn't Misery. It was a thing that got beaten on Wednesday. Thing of Brosnan's. Yeah, Brosnan's horse got beaten about 6 or 7 lengths on Wednesday, so it doesn't look good. And I do think this horse is a wet tracker. So I've got it $22 at 16.17. So it is the price, but God, the maps look bad. Map does look bad.
That favourite in that race, being McCoy's, wife's horse, it's always got a spruik about it, and it's always shorter than what it probably blows to, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm taking it on today. I think someone's actually Barton Wills just mentioned it, so I'll get to that one. Paul Scaney, hey guys, can get stuck in, finish over the top of them in race 4. Get stuck in, I thought it must be you. Race 4 at the coast, is it?
Get stuck in there. This is the Golden Runner, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Golden Runner.
To get back in the field. Oh yeah. No. Paul, I'm against it. I remember there's not a heap of speed on here. New Horizons or Epic Girl will lead. I heard on the radio that they were thinking about taking a sit on New Horizons, which will give Epic Girl the lead, and New Horizons will sit second. Now, I don't know whether that's going to be the case or not, but I would have thought New Horizons would be better going straight to the front and dictating and trying to kick. But
speed of the race for Get Stuck In looks ordinary from a map point of view, Paul.
Yeah, and it trial disappointing. It wasn't anything out of the box. So I remember that trial now, and I'd have to let it go for sure. Barton Wills, race 6, number 5, Capital Connection. As you say, it's always short. There's a spruik on it. First up run last time in was against Kelly Schweeder's horse, I can remember, and it went okay, and it improved second up. I'm thinking, pretty much Golden's horses all improve second up, don't they?
Yeah.
So I would probably wait one more, especially at the price it is. I think that's bloody short, $2.60, and I'll be taking it on. And if it wins, I'll be having a blackout on the day because I'll be backing 4 to beat it in that race. So we'll see what happens. Harry Walker is full Nelson in the last gap job. Coach. Shit.
Yeah, this horse, on a couple of his runs last preparation, he rates very high, and he'd win this race for sure on those ratings, but he pulls hard, this horse, and his 2 runs this prep have been, I'd say they've been fair. And I think the horse, looking at him, he might have a problem, this horse, so he might have a wind problem or have an issue. So I just, if he returns to those couple of runs last prep, he'd win it, as I say, but based on what I've seen the last 2, I just can't back him. This race is pretty tricky. I think it's pretty even. Kingley, the Costa runner, is coming off, an okay prep last time, but it's got a tricky gate. It's one of the favourites in the race, and Full Nelson's the second pick there, but I couldn't back either. The bottom one, See It Through, I think it's got a chance around that $5 mark, but I'm not saying he can't win Full Nelson, because if he returns on those figures from last prep, he'll win the race, but I couldn't back him on what I've seen.
pulls too hard for me. He goes just goes too hard, and even Andrew Spinks. I know he's a strong rider, and that's probably why he's got him on him. But he's very hard hands, you know. So geez, it's short enough for mine, especially knowing that he pulls too hard. Where we go? Dave Andrea, does Chemsray push forward outside fave, and where does she sit in your markets? Gotta hope, Dave. I think the favourite is short enough, and this thing's got some hope. Whether he pushes forward, I just don't know. Bailey Norcliffe, he might do that. You know, he's pretty good going with maps and everything, so he might sort of say there's no speed here, and he probably will push forward, like you're saying. And chance at odds, I think that's good odds. Scooter Macwin, race 3, is the horse looking for further? Is he a horse looking for further, or is the 1200 spot on? I prefer these horses. When all these trainers sort of saying, we might be able to get him out to 1400 or 1600. That's all bull. You know, keep him at the distance that they go good at. Don't be looking for further. You know, I can't work that out when they're all trying to get further. Macwin, I think 1200 is perfect for him. Bit of speed on, just get him, you know, run over the top of horses when the speed's on. 1400, it'd probably drift back a little bit further and same distance, and they might go a bit slower up front, so it makes it a bit harder for those type of horses. So I think 1200's okay, but as I said, it's short enough for mine. Alex H, does Allback land in a good enough spot from the barrier to be the winner, as we said before? We mentioned that one. And Andre Douglas, morning boys, race 7, Red Dalton, able to put these away, made it look easy in the last 2 races and should do just as well going to 1600. What are your thoughts? That's race 7, we backed that the other day. It was a really good win. Got held up in the straight and hit the line, you know, really well out wide. So horse is going good. You know, I remember you backing this horse at Ipswich one day, short, and he pulled his head off, but just loomed to shit him. Yeah. And dogged it. You know.
Yeah, he looked the horse. He's turned his form around, hasn't he? He looked the horse that he had a problem as well. You know, maybe a wind problem as well. But he's got this horse going well at the moment. And I remember backing him one day, or having something on him at the coast a few runs back, and he was held up there, and then he should have won that day, and he went to Clounder, and I think won after that, didn't he?
Yeah, on the wet track that day. I think mate of ours was tipping it strong, got up on the inside in the worst part of the track, and
yeah. So the horse is going well this prep, that's for sure.
Looks a pretty good race, that one. You know, I think the horse is going well as well, but I have got it $11 and it's 9, so he's a horse I'll be probably looking to save on if I bet in the race, which I probably will. There's a couple in that race that I like. So
it's always a back marker, that horse, so you just got to watch what's happening with that track today.
And there's not a lot of speed in that race. You know, it looks like Elvis going to get a perfect run. King's full, and now Campiador up on the speed, and that's it. You know, so it's a bit of a problem where he's going to be. He's got 9 gate. He's got no option but to go back. So it's a bit of a problem for him. You'll really want the track to be playing non-leaderish. That's about all. We've got a big, long show, 23 minutes we've gone, so I think that's a gutful. All right, best of luck, everyone.
Cheers. Good luck, guys.
See you.